call, and the Hogs can be heard all the way to San Francisco.
You're listening to Pod at the Palace with Curtis Wilkerson on Inside Arkansas.
And welcome into the Pod at the Palace post-game live reaction show presented by SARACEN, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Portland, Oregon. Appreciate the hospitality. Portland has been kind to the pig, and for the 5th time in 6 years, your Arkansas Razorbacks are headed to the Sweet 16. Another Cinderella got slayed today. Wasn't easy. This might have been the toughest one of all of them, but the Hogs get past High Point after, just a wild game. Back and forth, high intensity, high stress, high blood pressure, probably for a lot of Razorback fans out there. And it's off to San Jose, where Arkansas will await the winner of Arizona and Utah State. Man, another feather in the cap for this program, just achieving a level of success that so few are able to do. We feel a little bit spoiled, but we're going to relish in it tonight, baby. It feels great. Shout out to this team. Shout out to these players. Shout out to John Calipari. And maybe, just maybe, this will be the year that Arkansas can take this thing one step further. Andrew, looks like we're extending our stay out on the West Coast, baby. How's San Jose sound to you?
Hell yeah. We ain't going home, man. Nothing good in life comes easy. And make no mistake, going to the Sweet 16 is a good thing in life. And it didn't come easy for the Hogs, man. Credit to High Point. That's going to, I'm assuming, be a theme of our postgame here tonight is credit to those guys, man. Awesome team, awesome season, awesome story, too. They had a great crowd behind them. I don't know what the split was like, but it was an awesome atmosphere in there on both sides. A lot of Hog fans, a lot of High Point fans. It was just a great round of 32 NCAA tournament game, and I'm sure some people are going to go out of their way to try and diminish this and talk about the matchup and talk about how it was easy for Arkansas.
Anything but that.
If you were in that arena tonight, it did not feel like some 4 versus 12 or some, Cinderella story like you were saying. That was a tough, tense, 40-minute battle. And as much as we're going to give credit to High Point, and they deserve a lot of it, credit to Arkansas, man, responding every time. And there were a lot of moments where you're just like, man, I don't like this. I don't feel great. Is Arkansas getting tired? I don't know. And every single time they answered the bell, it felt like every time Arkansas got a timeout, they got like a second wind of energy. They needed just enough. I think the difference in this game was that Arkansas had plenty left in the tank because they didn't have to expend a ton of energy on Thursday. I thought it was huge. They needed everyone in this game. Whatever you could give the team, give it, and let's see if it's enough. It was enough tonight. Arkansas goes on to San Jose, and it's going to be really hard to talk me out of being absolutely excited and buzzing and proud of the Razorbacks.
What's that old cliche in March Madness? Survive and advance.
Absolutely.
Survive is exactly what Arkansas did in this one. And that's all that matters, man. That's all that matters. This Razorback team has continued to face these, bunches that either they've got the chip on their shoulder. They're trying to do the Cinderella thing, the David versus Goliath thing, playing with their backs against the wall. It happened in the SEC tournament a couple times. It's happened a couple times here. And you just got to get through it. Let me tell you something, folks. I've already seen a few people in the chat. And by the way, we're going to get to your chats ASAP here because this is about you guys tonight. We are celebrating this victory, this moment together. So we're going to give a short recap, and then we're going to get into it and let you guys carry us the rest of the way here. But let me tell you something. We were front and center for this. High Point is for real. They are legit, all right? So, and Arkansas having to navigate that type of style with that type of team that is as fast and aggressive and tenacious as they are with 6 dudes and half of them hurt who are out there. That was a tough game. Arkansas had to dig deep to get through that one. There have been some John Calipari teams in recent years that have folded under that kind of pressure. There are freshmen throughout this country who fold under that kind of pressure. But the Arkansas Razorbacks, Darius Acuff, Malik Thomas were having none of it. In fact, when it came to winning time, Darius Acuff reached down and grabbed him and said, no, this ain't happening on my watch.
Yeah, I love it. The other day when we were doing our preview, I kind of misspoke a little bit, but I said this is going to be a more physically demanding game than Arkansas played on Thursday, and not because High Point is this overly physical team that has this strength that you really have to defend a lot.
Aggressive, man.
They just make you work a lot on both ends. They make you defend their actions. They put Arkansas's best player and best, weapon, their star player, Darius Acuff, in a lot of action defensively, made him expend a lot of energy. There were 0 moments in this game where Arkansas got to just kind of hang out and relax for a little bit and rest on their laurels. There wasn't a ton of transition in this game, which is kind of a huge theme that both these teams like to play fast. And there was a little bit here and there, but for the most part, it was just teams going back and forth. There was a lot of game pressure being applied to the Razorbacks. There was a lot of actual pressure being applied to the Razorback. There was a moment in the first half where we looked at Trevin and Malik Ewan, who, of course, had to carry the Arkansas front court in this one, and we were like, man, both of those guys are tired. Can we somehow sub both of them? But you can't do that. all you kind of knew was that Arkansas needed to get this thing to the finish line. You knew early on this is a 40-minute game, and you were going to need just enough. And sometimes it just comes down to 5 minutes left. It's a close game. Everything's kind of coming down to this. You need your star player to go be a star player, and Darius Acuff, as we expected, was ready for that. He had his March Madness moment. 11 of 22 from the floor, 3 of 6 from the free throw line. Wound up shooting 13 free throws, got a few extras down the stretch there. 36 points, 6 assists. And it was honestly casual. He didn't do anything crazy that we haven't seen before. He was ready for this moment. He was built for it. And I think there were a lot of guys on this Razorback roster who stepped up. Billy Richmond, huge plays down the stretch. I thought Arkansas.
Defensive plays from Billy.
Anytime you wondered, do they have enough left in the tank, they would always answer emphatically. And credit to High Point because they did the same.
Sure. Yeah, absolutely. No, Darius Acuff was tremendous in this basketball game. He was not losing tonight, man. He took over down the stretch. Really, really impressive to see. It was him and Rob Martin. And hey, shout out to that little dude, man. He's the fastest man I've ever seen in person. They were just trading baskets, but at the end, a guy like Darius Acuff, he ain't gonna lose that battle. High Point even said coming into the game, they knew they were gonna have to outscore, meaning score a lot of points to beat Arkansas. They couldn't quite do it. The Razorbacks got the stops when they had to at the very end there. You mentioned Billy Richmond, some great plays that he made in that stretch on the defensive end. Listen, Malik Thomas deserves a lot of credit in this basketball game. 19 points. He was 8 of 16 from the field. He hit 3 3-pointers. Can we give Malik Ewan some more flowers?
Yeah, we can.
Because my goodness, man, he was that. You want to talk about being tired? That dude was like a corpse, just being drug across the floor for a while out there. But again, in winning time, if it wasn't Acuff, they were going inside to Malik Ewan. He was getting buckets. He blocked that 3-point attempt there that forced High Point to have to take the ball out and call a timeout and have another possession. So he's making some plays on both ends there down the stretch. And then look, free throws. It's been a little bit unfair with the criticism of Malik Ewan at the free throw line. He's actually been pretty good if you look at the percentages on the year, but it's been up and down. And sometimes when he's down, you just know it ain't going to work out for him. He stepped up there and made the 2 biggest free throws of his life to turn it into a 3-possession game with like 40 some odd seconds left. And it needed to be a 3-possession game with as quick strike as High Point was. Those guys were awesome, man.
Yeah, I wouldn't necessarily describe what Malik Ewan did tonight as like an awesome defensive performance necessarily, but in a game like this where you really just need a handful of stops here and there, his rebounding was really big for Arkansas. Had some big offensive rebounds as well. 4 blocks. I'd imagine that has to be a season high for him. I can't imagine he's had many of those. Gave Arkansas just enough on that end. He also took advantage of some mismatches offensively. Kind of had a little bit of a quiet. What he ended up with? 14 points, 12 rebounds. You called it on the pregame show that he was going to go back-to-back double-doubles. It's always tough because, you want to prepare your team for every single moment that they might face. You want to prepare them for what they're going to do in March. John Calipari had to look at Malik Ewan tonight with Nick Pringle not in this game at all, did not end up playing, thought he might give it a go. Trevin Brazil was very banged up, and actually credit to Trevin. He didn't have a great game, but for him to come back in this game and fight for Arkansas down the stretch and play the final 5 minutes, I thought was huge, but you just kind of knew this was going to put a little bit more onus on Malik Ewan. He played 36 minutes in this game. I'd imagine that's also a season high. He's played his best basketball when Arkansas's needed it down the stretch.
Right. Absolutely, man. Okay, here's what we're going to do. We're going to pay some bills, and then we're going to get into the chats. You guys are going to care us. Obviously, we're going to start with the super chats. We're going to take this as far as we possibly can. These guys are going to stay open a little bit later than normal for us. Remember, we're 2 hours earlier here than you guys are back at home, but they close at 10 o'clock Pacific time, but they said they're going to give us a little bit of grace. So we want to get to your chats and make sure that you guys are heard throughout the course of the night here because, man, it feels good to be a pig right now.
Oh, it does.
You know what I could do? I could go fight somebody right now. I could go fight. We're going to Fight House Gym and do it. Shout out to them, man. We really appreciate our sponsors here at the Pot at the Palace. You have to check them out. Fight House Gym, Northwest Arkansas's #1 boxing, MMA, and strength training gym built for athletes, competitors, and anyone ready to push their limits. From high-energy boxing and MMA training to free weights, elite cardio equipment, sleds, and cross-training, Fight House Gym delivers everything you need to train at the highest level. Push your body to the edge and recover like a pro with our cold plunge and saunas designed to keep you ready for more. Whether you're a seasoned fighter or just starting your fitness journey, this is the gym that meets you where you are and pushes you further. Fight House Gym is now open at 10131 Webbway in Fayetteville, exit 58 off I-49. Sign up today at fighthousegym.com or call 951-623-9745 and step inside and bring the fight. All right. On to the chats. Let's see how everybody's doing. I'm guessing we're doing pretty good here. Here we go. I mean, my goodness. From Jane Neighbors, Cinderella killers. It's crazy how this has been working out. And before BBN or whoever it is has something to say, I'll just say the same thing we said during the SEC tournament. first of all, I don't even know if there's really a Cinderella when you get to this stage. Like, if you make it to this point, you are a really, really damn good basketball team. High Point won 31 games this season, and they just popped a top 25 team in Wisconsin 2 days ago. So we know that they're for real. But if people want to be upset about it, be upset at the teams that couldn't get past them. Arkansas is just doing the Lord's work by knocking off all these teams and being the Cinderella killer over here. So credit to them, man. And it's not an easy thing to do, because when those little teams, like Hawaii, like especially like a High Point, when they get to feeling themselves, you get some confidence and some momentum. You feel like you're kind of playing with house money, and then you're just free out there. Yeah. They can be really, really difficult to deal with. And High Point was tonight, but Arkansas got through it.
In the 2 games that High Point played here in Portland, the most impressive part to me was just how many times they answer back. They keep putting pressure on you.
Yeah.
If you take a 2-minute break, they're going to go on a 6-0 run. They just keep applying that game pressure. And that's the sign of a team that's well coached, that's got some older veteran guys, and a team that's just used to winning. They've won for 3 months straight here. Really impressive. As much as we always say, oh, you can get popped by guys in March, and Cal's been popped by a few mid-majors before. We all understand that madness happens. Nobody wants to give credit when you go out there and beat a team that was ready to beat you and that thought they were going to beat you and pretty much did a lot of things that, would lead to them beating you. As we wave at Mrs. Danzan here, getting a shout out on the stream. She'll love that. Glad she's here to celebrate with us. But you know what we've never said, Curtis? That Elite 8 run with Muss was awesome, but, they beat Oral Roberts, so does it really count?
Yeah.
We've never said that, and we are never going to say that about this game. Well, does it really count? Who's High Point? Nah. That was a good basketball team Arkansas just beat.
That was a good basketball team. I still don't understand how that Johnson dude gets those threes off. I don't know how he does it, man.
It's hot potato, bro. He literally just flings. It's like from his chest almost.
Doesn't need to be balanced. Doesn't need to be square. Doesn't need any airspace. It's like, good grief. How do you even defend that? Arkansas did just enough. Did he miss one? I think he might have missed one.
He missed a couple. Right? Yeah, he missed a few in transition.
That dude was nuts out there. Hey, I'll tell you this right now. High Point was better than that St. Peter's team. High Point was better than that Oakland team. Yeah, I said it. All right, moving on.
That.
Heartbroken Hog says, still dancing. Acuff is the GOAT. He's getting close. For the Razorback GOAT, because the entire season, as he kept stacking accomplishment after accomplishment, did he set the single season scoring record tonight?
He did. He made it with his first 3 in the first half.
And he's already got the assist. So yeah, I mean, he's already in rarefied air there. Now they're in a Sweet 16. You're gonna have a hard time convincing me, and no disrespect to the guys of the past, of anyone better than Acuff who's worn a Razorback jersey. You get another one, like you go, well, we don't know for sure if it's going to be Arizona, but you go pop Arizona and have one of those games. It's just no question whatsoever.
Yeah, at this point, Darius Acuff is adding icing to the cake that is his legacy. It's set in stone. When you win SEC Player of the Year, when you win SEC Freshman of the Year, when you're a first-team All-American, the first in my lifetime, that already is enough. You get an NCAA tournament win. Now you get 2. And you have an iconic NCAA tournament performance. I mean, it was casual for him because we've seen him do stuff like this.
True.
How many times in Razorback history has a guy scored 36 points in the NCAA tournament? Like maybe 3 in the history of the entire tournament. Like I don't, someone I'm sure our guy Hogstats will get on that real quick, but it's like that's a very that performance alone would be enough to be like a legacy defining moment for anybody. For him, it was just Saturday.
Yeah, literally just Saturday for Darius Acuff.
I mean, that wasn't even close to the best game he's played as a Razorback, and it was a 36-point, put the team on your back performance in the NCAA tournament. This dude's unreal, man. There's nothing more. I mean, we can go on about this dude forever, and we're gonna have many opportunities to do that.
Yeah, I mean, it's like Malik Thomas is unreal.
Yeah,
and for Darius Acuff to be able to kind of outshine him throughout the course of the season is crazy.
Yeah.
Malik Thomas might be the second best freshman Arkansas has ever had. Truly. I mean, these two dudes are elite level
Malik
players.
Thomas scored 10 of Arkansas's first 19 points. I thought he really got Arkansas going, and then he kind of, he picked up the fouls, got in foul trouble, but he kind of got Arkansas going early in this game.
Whew. From Derek Tips, we appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. Man, I hope y'all are feeling good tonight. I really hope y'all are feeling good tonight.
Yeah, they are.
Book your tickets for San Jose. We're going to have to stop. I was talking to John, by the way. We're going to stop at like a mall or, I don't know, a little Kohl's or TJ Maxx or something. I got to get some California weather here. Like I'm up here with a bunch of hoodies and stuff.
I got a bunch of sweatpants, bunch of jeans, bunch of that.
Derek says, Acuff, of course, but Billy with 2 forced turnovers late. And DJ forcing Martin into the walk late, won the game late for us. Great win, shorthanded. Yeah, Arkansas, well, first of all, they built, it was a 7. I told you, I said, remember this. Arkansas up 7 with 5 minutes left. The game is going to at least get tied at some point here. Did it get tied?
It did.
Less
than 2 minutes later, it got tied.
There we go. And I remember when it was 83-80, and Rob Martin was going to the line to finish that 3-point play. And I tweeted, and I was like, can Arkansas string together consecutive stops one more time? Because I feel like that's all they needed to do, because they weren't going to get stopped much on the other end. And they did, because of some big-time plays there. That, folks, is why Billy Richmond is an all-SEC defender. It's that kind of chaos that he can create and making the plays and winning time. A good pull there on DJ Wagner with his defense as well.
You know what's valuable, Curtis? The basketball. Anytime in a game that is down 1-point game, 2-point game, just a few possessions left, you get your hands on the basketball, whether that's just on offense, holding, being smart, not turning it over, getting a rebound, getting a steal, getting a block. Billy Richmond just has a knack for finding that basketball. And Arkansas, by the way, 7 turnovers in this game. That was a huge key.
Great work.
Don't turn the ball over against High Point. Arkansas held true in that
You
department.
see what happens, man, when they had those back-to-back pick sixes in that stretch where Trevin got hurt and he went out. Malik Thomas got his 3rd foul. Sealy checked into the game. And then I think it was Acuff and Wagner back-to-back. It's pick sixes. They go finish it on the other end. That's how High Point beats teams, man. They turn you over, and they are fast in transition. So there are a few of those that were irritating, but Arkansas really did a great job of limiting that stuff. I mean, it's a Razorback team that averages like 9 turnovers a game, and against a team that leads the country in steals, they actually had fewer than that. So great job in the ball security department. At times where things got tight, it got tense, there was pressure. As our man Kingsley knows, sometimes that creates lemon booty situations. It did not create a lemon booty situation for the Hogs.
Most points in an NCAA tournament game in Razorback history, that was Darius Acuff tonight. He broke the record. There had been 4 30-point games, period, including John L. Davis, by the way, last year, the NCAA tournament. But Mario Credit had 34 against Loyola Marymount in 1989. The Acuff just casually tops that.
Gotcha. Let's see. We're getting a little bit of information from John. John stayed back.
Yeah.
Good for him. He hates having to do it after a loss, going into the locker room and everything, but he got to kick it with the celebration there. They had, dudes at the podium and everything like that. So it was a little bit of a condensed locker room, actually. But he said he talked to DJ Wagner, Malik Ewan, Isaiah Sealy. I mean, hell.
Hey, Isaiah Sealy came in.
The biggest 3 seconds of his life at the end of the first half. And then he got back in there for a little bit longer. Thank God they just put him in there. So good stuff. The student section. State nights, charter flights, campus nights. I don't care. Hogs in 4. That's a good job.
Yeah.
That is a good job.
Hey, by the way, I'm not even going to use the term low point.
No, I'm not either.
I'm not even going to do it.
They're legit, man. That's a they would have beat
a lot of teams, bro.
A lot of teams tonight.
If they played Vanderbilt today, they beat Vanderbilt, who, by the way, did lose today.
Oh, yeah. They had a chance to win it or something with a 3 at the buzzer. And
Tyler Tanner got Gordon Haywarded. Hit a half-court heave that just almost went in and didn't quite.
Sucks to suck. Slimly says Billy is a pit bull driving to the rim, and I love it.
Dude,
guys.
How about that number 15 who had to take a breather, bro? He ran into Billy and was like, I need to go back to the locker room for a little bit. Now he came back and hit a 35-footer, so credit to him. But it was this was a weirdly physical game between two teams who aren't super physical. There was a lot of bumps and bruises out there.
No doubt, man. Billy Richmond, he will office linebacker you. He does not give a damn who's between him and the rim. He is going through them, not around them.
He tried to put somebody through the rim.
He did try to put somebody through the rim. He's a bad man, Billy Richmond. That was fun to watch. Bo Suttle says, we are all gacking our gibbler tonight.
I like that. Listen, 2 dominant dubs for Arkansas baseball and Arkansas basketball. We love to see it.
From Bo, he says, I'm exhausted. F want to be Muggsy Bones.
I'm trying to.
Rob Martin want to be Muggsy Bones?
Yeah.
Dude,
which, listen, I don't know if Muggsy's ever had a game that good, if I'm being honest with you.
Hey, all that shit that Rob Martin was talking pre-game about having an advantage, getting downhill against Arkansas, he was right.
By the way, we're getting reports from the chat that on the broadcast, they said that kid went back to the locker room and threw his guts up and then came back out.
Martin did?
No. The kid that took the number 15. I think his name's like Hauser.
Yeah, Hauser. I believe that, man. That was a shot. Oh, God. The student section says, dare I say, my Thomas is leaking. Fine, we'll accept it.
Dude, I pointed it out. So, by the way, we didn't have the behind Brad Nessler seats tonight. We were
just
about,
off to the
about
right.
10 feet to the right
Arkansas
over there.
Side of the bench, yeah.
And when Arkansas was defending in the first half, I was like, dude, Curtis, look at Malik Thomas's eyes on defense. This dude is sitting here just dialed in, bro. Like, he didn't blink the entire game. It was awesome.
It was awesome. Hey, shout out to our partners over at OZK Insurance for sponsoring us here at the Pod at the Palace throughout the course of the season. And as long as this ride is going to take us throughout the course of the postseason, you know what the thing is with OZK Insurance? They're an independent insurance agency. That means they're not just tied down to one company. They're going to shop a multitude of A-rated carriers to find the best coverage and price for you. And now they've paired that with a full-service mobile app where you can have all your policies under one roof. You can do a little bit of everything. You can pay your bills. You can get roadside assistance, file claims, request policy changes, or even get new quotes, all from the convenience of your phone. If you're tired of being stuck with one carrier or chasing down paperwork, just go to ozkinsurance.com or search OZK Insurance in the App Store or Google Play. It's a local agency with national-level options, one powerful app. That is OZK Insurance. All right, let's get back into it here in the chats and see how everybody's doing. Again, appreciate everybody. I guess it's pushing midnight back home, right?
Yeah, it is late over there in Central Time for sure.
That's right. Slimly says shots have been kind of cold the last couple days. I'm expecting the guys to shoot the lights out of the gym against Arizona. Arkansas shot, I think, 54% against Hawaii. In this basketball game, they shot
very well.
51.5%. They were 9 of 16. I mean, they were over 50% from three. They didn't shoot a lot of them, but
my favorite moment of the game, Malik Thomas got a decent look from three and opted to drive and take a semi-contested two. And on his way back down the court, Cal just screams, "Shoot! Shoot!" And then a couple possessions later, he gets a look from three that was pretty contested, nails it.
Yes. I mean, listen, they shot well. They did not shoot well from three in the first game, but they shot well today. They got off to a poor start from the free throw line tonight, but they wound up 15 of 20, so 75% at the line in the end.
I didn't love Arkansas's shot selection in the first half, which is funny because they ended up with 43 points or whatever. Like they were perfectly fine, but as much as we say, hey, don't worry about the attempts from three, I think when you're shooting as well as Arkansas did tonight, maybe take a few more, but whatever.
Yes, yeah, I would have been okay with that. Chef Boy Arlie says Hogs win. The over hits.
Did it really?
Yeah. Well, so let's see. High Point covered. Arkansas won. The over hit.
Yeah, I like that.
I'll take it.
Arkansas was due to not cover, which I'm actually kind of glad they got that out of the way.
Yeah, me too. We've got Caden's Music and Sports. It says Billy Richmond's defense was huge down the stretch. Yeah, we touched on that, but you're absolutely right. I was a little bit worried about Billy starting the game because that Terry Anderson dude, number 5 for High Point, he was just like a freight train getting downhill. And that dude, he's sloppy with it, man. Like he does not have a tight handle, but he's just super athletic and unorthodox. And I think he had 3 rim drives right away. But Arkansas did a great job of attacking that dude and getting him in foul trouble and getting him out of there.
Well, it's kind of weird. Cam Fletcher was absolutely dominant in the first half.
Yeah.
They switched it and put Billy on him in the second half, and he did pop off down the stretch in the second half. Most of his damage did not come against Billy. I thought he did a pretty good job slowing down the guy that was kind of the matchup nightmare for Arkansas early.
Yeah, so Billy guarded Terry Anderson. He guarded Cam Fletcher. He guarded Rob Martin. Billy was the only guy that I thought had a semblance of success against Rob Martin. Major shout out to Malik Thomas for chasing Johnson around the entire damn game. That is a hard assignment. And if you're also going to score 19 points and be a big factor offensively, that was pretty impressive work. He had a hand in that. I saw DJ on him for a little bit. Acuff had a couple possessions on him, but that dude he's something else, man.
The most impactful 3 for 8 game of all time.
Seriously,
like genuinely, I've never seen a guy go 3 for 8 and like had the biggest performance. And like I was terrified.
It makes you change the way you have to defend because you just can't help, and you got to be all over that dude. And they did a hell of a job on him. They really did a great job defending High Point. I mean, they chucked 38 threes.
Yeah,
they just fired them up there. 10 of 38 in this game. What is that? 26.3% they held High Point to, and they, sure, if you shoot 38 3-pointers, you're going to get some open looks throughout the course of a basketball game. But, Arkansas, man, people are upset about the defense. And look, they struggled to keep the ball in front of them. Their pick and roll defense when Acuff and Malik Ewan were involved was non-existent. Those things are all true there, but this is one of the top 5 scoring offenses in the country. Arkansas and High Point are within 1/10 of a point of each other on the season when it comes to scoring. And believe it or not, Arkansas held them under their average. So maybe they weren't so bad defensively after all. Okay, let's see. We got Hogs by 94, cranking the Hog.
I like that.
And you know what? Go ahead. If that's what you feel like you need to do, go ahead. You're not on camera. We are. So, we're not going to do that stuff. But, have at it. Go crazy. Slimly says, Dave, don't talk crap against postseason Pringle. He's a dog when you need him under the lights.
Yeah. I mean, listen, I guess someone in the chat
Dave.
was maybe downplaying the impact. I really don't know. I wasn't really paying
Pringle
attention.
he was trying to come in.
He was
on the bike.
Pringle was also giving Malik Ewan like a very hearty pep talk. I don't remember. I think it might have been the under 4 timeout. I think at that point it would have maybe been decided that Pringle for sure was not coming into the game. But he went over and was kind of patting him on the back and getting in his ear and really giving him the like, you got to be the man, kind of speech. And I love that. Everyone on the bench's energy was awesome. Carter Knox, there was a time where Arkansas was on defense and Carter Knox is on the bench.
Man.
Just going back and forth. Like, I love it.
He was ready, dude. He was ready. Yeah, that was good from Pringle. And honestly, after he was in his ear at that timeout, that's when Ewan kind of came out and he had some huge plays there at the end.
Postseason Pringle doesn't just happen on the court.
That's right.
It's a mindset.
Yeah. Dalton's Motorsport says, all I have to say is Billy, Michael, Francis, Richmond.
I like that.
From Garrett McCollum, appreciate you, buddy. Appreciate all of you for hanging out with us tonight. They said, thank God we have the best player in the country. I hate to be negative about a win in March, but sheesh, we love to play with our food, don't we? Woo Pig, love you boys, get back safe. I understand what you're saying because it feels like Arkansas gets a 6, 7, 8 point lead, and then they take the foot off the gas and they let teams back in it. You got to understand the situation that they're in, though. I mean, you're playing one of the fastest teams in the country. You're on short rest. You have 6 players. Your coach is telling you not to foul because you can't afford to foul. There's going to be a drop there on the defensive end, and they got to conserve some energy because they know they have to outscore teams. So when I see people who are saying, well, they didn't give effort. Well, what the hell are you talking about? They just won a game to go to the Sweet 16. Well, they're not physical enough. Well, they got to be careful about that. Yeah. Being up close with those dudes, I mean, they were sucking air, hands on the knees. But they were worn out, man. And you just got to, I think we have to accept a little bit of that given the circumstances they were in. Now, I think, or I hope, that Nick Pringle will be good to go and available by Thursday when Arkansas plays Arizona or Utah State. Then you've got your 7 guys, and that kind of changes the dynamic a little bit. And some of these things, I would be a little bit more like, all right, come on, man, figure it out. In this situation, in this type of game, I'm really not going to harp on it too much.
Is it that hard to believe that this is the highest level of the sport, the highest stakes possible, and that was a highly competitive game between 2 teams that are, dare I say, good?
Yeah.
Is it that hard to fathom that that's just what happened?
I think that's
it's not
exactly
like every
what
time
happened.
High Point scores is because Arkansas led them. You know, it's like, no, good teams make good plays. That's what High Point did. That's what Arkansas did.
Absolutely. From BDJB says, Acuff is that dude. That dagger 3 was just a regular moment for him. Great win for an obviously tired team. Back to the Sweet 16 we go again. Woo Pig Suey. I like that. Yeah, that was a big-time shot right there.
That he got that 3 because he was so dominant getting downhill and finishing at the rim. He was awesome, attacking the interior of that defense, that they let him just kind of walk into a not open 3, but like not super contested. You give that guy 5 inches, that ball's going through the net.
Absolutely. Tuna's House says, so excited for this team. Played great with that other. Played great when that other kid is a dog, but Acuff is a hog. Got that San Jose trip booked. There's a world we play Utah State and Texas to get to a Final Four. Richardson statue. Oh,
listen.
We can all enjoy the Arizona and Utah State game tomorrow.
We'll watch the Arizona-Utah State game tomorrow, and may the best team win. And whoever's there in front of Arkansas, get ready for a fight.
That's right. Get ready for a fight. Those Bang Geeks says, holy bloop. That was a fun game. Started to get giddy when High Point came out with their heads down. Always good to see Sealy, and holy shit, that Martin guy is scary. Yeah. As always, like and subscribe. Thank you. Yeah, that dude is he's a shifty little.
Yeah.
He was getting the corner on everybody.
Literally everybody.
And they couldn't even get out there if they wanted to like blitz a ball screen or double it or hard hedge it or something. They couldn't get out there quick enough. That dude just turned the corner on everybody. He was something else, man.
St. Louis's finest.
Yes. Damon Shaw Photos, appreciate you. 16-16. You see that? That's good stuff right there. Says Cal makes the Sweet 16 with a team that wasn't Ken Palm top 30 defensive efficiency for the first time since 2014. It almost tripped us up this year. Let's now go from Cinderella killers to number 1 seed killers. I love that energy.
I do love that energy. Because what do you say at that point? Where if Arkansas beats a number 1 seed, where it's like, you don't get to complain about the path whenever you get there and play the best team in your region and you beat them. You know
exactly.
what I mean?
Yeah, exactly, man.
Love that.
From Finch, good to see you, Finch. Good to hear from you, buddy. Hope you're doing well. He says, can I just say, my gosh? Well, of course you can. You can say that all you want. We go into the Sweet 16. You like that?
I love that.
I love that. That's pretty good right there. We'll probably steal that. I'll put it in some captions. You know, we'll make some.
I posted an
graphics.
Instagram story, which, by the way, shout out to anybody that's been tapping in with my Instagram stories this weekend. And I thought about going that direction with it, but I didn't.
We've got Slimly again. And again, thank you for the support. Appreciate everybody.
Bang!
You're helping us stay out here for this trip, so we appreciate it. It says, Woo Pig Suey. I was getting nervous into this one. I was nervous going into this one, but the guys played well down the stretch and closed it out. Mark my words, Sleepless DJ is going to pop in the Sweet 16. I thought DJ played really well in his minutes tonight, but yeah, we all know he's got another gear. There will be a game in this tournament where DJ hits 3 3-pointers on somebody.
Yeah, he didn't really take. I mean, did he take 2 shots in this game?
He had a couple attempts downhill.
Literally one for 2
in
this game. He just kind of knew his role. He knew this wasn't necessarily his game, and he plays within the flow of the game, and the flow of the game did not put itself in his direction, and so he was fine with that. Yeah. But he did 4 assists, I think.
He did. Yes, he did have 4 assists. Joffre says High Point had nothing to lose. Martin and Fletcher are real hoopers. It's time to sacrifice Pringle's hamstring just to give you a blow. On to the next one. They and again, they were literally considering doing that. Like Nick Pringle, and he didn't warm up with the team, but he was going through some like dynamic warm-up stuff with the athletic trainer at half court and warm-ups. He took a few reps when the big guys were doing their pregame stuff. And then there were multiple times where he was over at the end of the bench on the exercise bike, like trying to get loose. And so I thought, man, they might be getting him in there because say what you want about Trevin Brazile and Malik Ewan, man, but those dudes are warriors because they were spent, and there was no replacement for him, so they just had to deal with it.
Yeah,
Ewan kept the 2 things Ewan was doing besides getting doubles, right? Was one, he was I got fouled. Where's
he did that about 9 times.
Where's my call?
Tonight.
And then a few times he was looking over at Cal, going like, "Hey, I need one." And Cal's like,
he's like, "No, you cannot have one." There was one.
You might need one, but yeah, you can't have one.
He was the only big in the game. Actually, he tried to come out. Billy came in to replace somebody, and he like started walking, and the guy was like, "No, I'm not coming in for you. Like you're the only big on the floor. We need you." But
yes,
yeah, I thought he was cool.
Exactly. From Tuna's House says, doing just enough to hang around, then turn up the last 2 minutes is low-key flexing. My heart doesn't like it, though. My heart is still pounding. Actually, we're going through it over here.
We're going through it. Hey, you remember that Duke game back in Thanksgiving when Arkansas got, they were close, competitive, and then it got down to the last 3.5 minutes, and they just completely fell apart. Yeah. And I remember that being a moment where I'm like, holy cow, is that going to be like what this team is all about? There's been about 5 or 6 examples here down the stretch where, that Missouri game without Acuff, where it gets down to winning time and Arkansas just levels up.
Yes.
And it's such a beautiful thing to see, and such a hard, it sounds easy, oh, hey, on the under 4 timeout, let's just play our best basketball here. It's really hard to do when you're completely spent.
Helps when you have the best closer in the country. Kingsley, a bumpy ride is better than a smooth walk.
That's
Nolan
a fact
Richardson.
right there.
That's poetic right there. Donut Boy says, my heart rate has never been higher, but man, what a game. High Point point guard was a baller, and they're a fun team to watch, but an Acuff we trust. Woo freaking pig suey baby. Yeah, if High Point was playing literally anyone else, they'd have been I'd have been rooting for them.
Yeah.
Like that was a fun group. They play hard. Shout out to that coach, man. First year coach. He's going to be at a high major soon.
He's a gangster,
and he's going to have to play some mid majors, but he's going to be there, dude.
All their guys, they play with an edge, man.
Yeah.
They play with an edge, and they're tough, and they just keep coming at you, man. I was impressed.
Me too. Slimly says this game had me drinking more beers than I would need.
Hey, it led to some super chats, so we appreciate it, Slimly. But seriously, we appreciate you always rocking with us.
Absolutely. Rufus, let's go.
Oh.
Says a duel of wills. Martin unrelenting, yet young Acuff would not yield. Blow for blow he stood, and when the moment came, he seized it and carried Arkansas with him. Woo Pig Suey from the UK. What time is it? Rufus, where you are?
It's got to be.
Are you having tea?
It's got to be 6 a.m. over there, like legitimately.
I think it might be, man. Shout out to Tuna for gifting an Inside Arkansas membership. We certainly appreciate that. Hairless Hog of his word, says one more ride. At least
one more ride.
Come on now. Slimly's back in here. Appreciate you, Slimly. Says, bro, every time Rufus comments, I feel like I'm in the middle of a medieval novel where we're knights fighting off a dragon, but I do love it. Appreciate you,
You start
Rufus.
hearing like Renaissance music kind of playing, some old sea shanties maybe, just good stuff.
That is electric, man. Hey, shout out to our partners over at Blue Ember Smokehouse. How well has that interview with Malik Thomas and Amir Brown aged out there at Blue Ember? I mean, that was unbelievable. We really appreciate them, too, for all of their support throughout the course of the year here. and helping us along the ride here in the postseason. And, boy, I'd sure love to have some good barbecue for them right now. And maybe you guys should do that. If you're back at home, they've got 6 locations in the state, so chances are you're close to one of them. Fort Smith, Jonesboro, Texarkana, Little Rock, Hot Springs, and Rogers. And if you can't go to them, they can come to you. They cater for you. So weddings, parties, Final Four parties, whatever you might have, that is certainly something you should take advantage of. Give them a call. You see the numbers on your screen. Contact your local location for more information on pricing. Scan the QR code or just go to the website, www.blueembersmokehouse.com. All right, we're continuing to roll through them here, folks. And again, appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. We got Lane Hedge. He says Acuff is a bad, bad man. But don't forget about Ewan either. Double-double with 4 blocks. And you're telling me that we get this Ewan and postseason Pringle next week, both of them? Yeah, I'm loving it. Also, go Utah State.
Oh,
go
course.
Utah State for sure.
Absolutely, without a doubt.
Yeah, Malik Ewan has been tremendous. I mean, and this validates everything that it validates a lot for me because I was hyping this dude up when they got him out of the portal. So I'm glad that he's figured some stuff out. But this was the vision, and seeing it play out in real time is cool. I can't tell you how many people I've had say, hey, wait, so Ewan can come back, right? Can he come back next year? Is he going to get that waiver? Everybody's about that life now. So
you can at least see the vision. And listen, he's not a perfect player. He's got his pros. He's got his cons. But this is the version of him that Arkansas thought they were getting. And we thought he was going to be the starting center all year long. But I'm okay with him playing his best basketball when he joined the starting lineup in a situation where we had to have it.
Yes, 100%. We've got Red Hot Hog says, we have Syndicate. I'm moving faster than says Red Hot Hogs take care of business again. No foul calls, though. Good practice for Arizona. Hogs moving on. So sweet. Yeah, well, they have 2 fouls in the first half. Yeah. And then our thought process was, now these dudes can get aggressive, which, maybe they did, maybe they didn't, but hey. So.
I mean, it was nice to have that breathing room. We thought it was a little bit weird, but also makes sense that Cal said what he said about just let him score. We can't afford the fouls. Like a score is not a touchdown. Once it became halftime and you got 2 team fouls, nobody's in foul trouble, you got to let it eat a little bit, and I liked it.
For sure. From Jacob, we appreciate you. Says, Woo Pig Suey, let's go, man. Kentucky fans are throwing a fit on social media. They know they're getting the belt tomorrow. Kentucky sucks. Woo Pig Suey.
Although Iowa State's best player.
They're going to catch Iowa State without their best player, aren't they? So We'll see what they do. Tuna's House says, glad to celebrate with the Inside Arkansas crew. Keep grinding, folks. Yeah.
I love that.
The grind is, and listen, we're, by the way, we're driving from Portland to San Jose. We're going to make a trip out of it. And I'm sure we'll have some cool content. Keep following this man's Instagram stories, right? We have a lot of good stuff there. Everything else stays the same. Like you're going to have your pot at the Palaces in the morning and all that. We will have a report card for you tomorrow morning. We'll have to get out of here. We'll go back to the hotel and do it or whatever. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're looking forward to it. And then I think everything really gets rolling Tuesday, maybe late Tuesday or at the latest into Wednesday in terms of practices, more locker room stuff and everything like that in San Jose. Whew. Okay, we still got a lot to get to. Slimly says, no apologies for a dub. I don't care as long as we continue dancing. Absolutely.
Should be everybody's mentality.
Absolutely. Yeah. This is not the time for that nonsense. We critiqued games like this after the Winthrop game. Why? Because it's November. And it's like, hey, you got to get better, man. This teams can't come into Bud Walton and do this to you. When you get here, things hit a little bit different, man. You get a win or you go home. So you take the dub any way that you can get it.
I mean, the reason you stress over a regular season performance is because you say, is this going to affect us in March? Is this going to be how our season ends in the NCAA tournament? And while that can still apply to an NCAA tournament game, you definitely got to acknowledge the side of it that you won a game that you very easily could have lost. And so, I'm not. You're going to get some critiques, but not complaints out of me. Damn not.
Yeah, I'm just telling you right now, we're not allowed to go below an A- on anybody on the report card.
Oh, of course not.
Yeah. So basically, if you think somebody had an F game and we gave them an A-, just read between the lines.
Keep that to yourself.
Yeah. Washburn Idol says, once again, Acuff is the best Arkansas athlete I've had the pleasure of watching. Yeah, I mean, he's just absolutely tremendous, man. We're so fortunate to be able to watch this kid play. I have literally at this point run out of words to describe what he's doing. I'm going to try my best to come up with some more because he ain't done yet.
We talked about it this morning in the hotel, but did everyone see that video of Chin Coleman saying that the night that Darius Acuff committed to Arkansas, he had him an ace of spades, he had him some champagne, some rosé. He said he had 2 bottles. Like he was, they knew in the moment as soon as this dude committed what that meant for the program, what that meant for this team, and they've known it for a while. They've continued to ride him, put him in these positions. and he rises to the occasion just every damn time.
Every time, man. Randy says, I might have been working on having a stroke until Acuff took over. Ewan with the perfect clutch free throws. Woo Pig Suey. More basketball season. Yeah. Man, I think back to like right before the SEC tournament, and I just had this feeling in the pit of my stomach. I'm like, why am I feeling this? Like, what's going on? Because I don't feel great. And what I realized is I was scared because I didn't want it to be over with this team, man. I just love watching this team. And it's not just Acuff, it's all those guys. I'm so proud of the way Trevin Brazil has grown up in real time. Malik Thomas was at the beginning of the year to now. Billy Richmond, his emergence, all these guys, man, the way that it's come together here. Cal rejuvenated. It's just been such a fun group, and we don't want it to end. And so for them to give us at least another week of this, I just think is awesome, man.
Yeah, I was fully not prepared for basketball season to end tonight.
Yeah.
It really didn't cross my mind a ton, if I'm being honest with you. And now we'll never know.
Now we'll never know. I guess, is Texas the Cinderella now?
They're the Cinderella. They're the only, or I guess, the
Did
only.
VCU win?
No, they didn't.
Oh, no, they lost.
They
to
lost by
Illinois.
1,000.
Yeah.
Big Z put them in the locker.
Yep. That's crazy. Solo says, staying alive. That's all that matters this time of year.
By the way, speaking of Solo, not that Solo, who is a student at the University of Arkansas, we did get a message from our guy, Captain Solo.
Love it.
Who sent us a little message.
We're close enough to you, we could throw a rock.
Yeah.
Well, not really, but you know.
He says, such fun dancing with this team. Appreciate you guys for bringing the experience for those of us that are cheering from far away. All respect to High Point. Great game. Woo Pig Suey, Captain and Mrs. Solo.
Love that. Thank you so much. We really do appreciate you. And, man, keep enjoying the ride. Shout out to Hunt OZK. We had the super chat in the chat that followed. He said, y'all pulled us back. Sweet 16. Y'all get flowers too. We will graciously accept those. We will graciously accept the flowers.
We're certainly having fun. So
we're definitely having fun. The official Drodede says Hogs won me $60 and a heart attack. Woo Pig Suey.
Congrats on your $60.
So you took advantage of some of those props, or maybe a little. What do we think? Not the cover, the over. Is that what hit? What'd you have? What'd you have
maybe
going on?
Maybe got a little
Bet
live something going on. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what was going on. Are you involved with Bet Saracen? Because if you're not, maybe you should be. Check them out if you haven't done so already, folks. All you got to do is go and download the Bet Saracen app at the App Store or Google Play. And when you sign up, use code INSIDEAR250. That's INSIDEAR250. Bet $25 and you get $250 back in bonus bets. I think that is a pretty good deal. It's Bet Saracen, Arkansas's #1 sports betting app. Right back to it. Washburn, Iowa says, I will gladly give up 30 paint points to the 5'10" point guard as long as it means we did not lose to the White Curry.
Yeah. I mean, listen, Arkansas's making business decisions, I guess you can call it, where it's like, all right, they're going to make shots. They're going to make some things at the rim. But, you're kind of content to live with it and keep making them do it time and time again, and eventually they stop.
Dude, John is looking way better than he did.
Oh, my God.
For a majority of the night, honestly.
Yeah.
Like from the time we left here earlier.
I'll let him tell his story, but I was worried about him before the game. I didn't know what was going on.
Where we both looked at him and we were just like, you okay?
Yeah.
Sharkinsaw, thanks, buddy. Says Acuff got the dub and Billy put the lock on it. Loved Leak's energy and Ewan's grit. Total team win. My favorite of the year by far. That was awesome, man.
I mean, hey, how could it not be your favorite win of the year whenever it's pushing you to further and further heights? Come on.
From Justin Reed says, Acuff and Ewan were clutch and they deserve the flowers, but Billy's defense down the stretch was incredible. Without him, not sure how this one goes. Shout out to, and again, like I know we've touched on this a couple times now, but shout out to Razorback fans for being ball knowers, right? It's not just about the buckets. You had to get some stops in there mixed in, and Billy Richmond really, really stepped up from that standpoint.
I mean, listen, we can rank. We're going to grade everyone out. We're going to rank everybody, literally every single person that played for Arkansas tonight, which was 7 people, by the way. Every single person contributed, genuinely.
All of them. Slimly, can we talk about Leak's defense on Chef Curry that was only able to hit a couple circus shots due to Leak being in that man's shorts tonight? He lived in there. And we talked about that a little bit earlier, but that is such a tough assignment to chase a guy around like that who, if he has even a millimeter of space, he's putting that thing up, and he's been doing it that way all year. And he's a 50% shooter. That's such a tough cover. And my thought on it was, well, just bring DJ in when that dude comes in, and that's his only job. Well, Malik Thomas was doing that and getting buckets in this game. That's a hell of a performance from a freshman on that stage.
They made him work on the defensive end, too, because we talked about it. We're like, this dude averages like 15 minutes a game or whatever.
Yeah.
He ended up playing 31 minutes in this game, I believe. Arkansas made him work. It's like, you're not just going to have a shooter on the floor for free. Nah, we're going to make this cat work, and we're going to work to make sure he doesn't pop off.
Yeah, exactly. Heartbroken Hawk says, congrats on 14K subs, y'all.
Yeah.
Inside Arkansas to the moon. Thank you for that. We appreciate every single one of you, all 14,000 and however many there are.
Yeah.
We've got Ben Thomas says, Woo MF Pig. Darius is him. He is him.
He is, man. He is.
He is him. Washburn Idol. 1,500 of y'all in here. Press the damn like button. Yeah, do that for us too. That'd be great. And if you're part of that 1,500 and you're not subscribed, you go ahead and do that real quick.
You might as well.
One click of a button, man. It's free.
Or
Doesn't cost you
it's
anything.
all uphill from here.
Exactly. From Lanky says, so happy for Cal, man. Me too. Anybody can say whatever they want. Nobody thought that was going to happen. When John Calipari left and came to Arkansas, that he was going to suddenly exercise all those demons, all that shit that people were talking about him, just relentless, dragging that man through the mud after everything he's done at so many places, and he still got his fastball.
It's very easy in a given moment to just look at what a player, coach, or team or program does and just assume, all right, that's just who they are, and that's just going to be the reality forever. And so Kentucky fans watch John Calipari lose a couple NCAA tournament games early, and they just determine that's who this guy is, that's who he's always going to be, this is just it. And he didn't write back. They wrote him off, but he ain't right back. Shout out to Geno Smith.
Yeah, you know who was not thinking about Jack Golke or St. Peter's or any of that nonsense during this game tonight? Cal.
No.
He ain't worried about that, man. He's worried about his team. And, man, he's got a really, really good one here at Arkansas.
I do. If we get a chance, when we get to San Jose in the locker room, I want to ask DJ, hey, is High Point, how do they compare to Oakland? Was it kind of?
It's a good time to ask that question, yeah. They were good. I think they're better. From John Sullivan, he says, guaranteed to have played at least 5 Sweet 16 teams, possibly 8. Woo Pig Suey.
Yeah, how about
I guess
that?
how it shakes out tomorrow. That's right.
I mean, listen, now I know A&M did get popped, and I think Vanderbilt also lost tonight too. But we beat Texas. Arkansas beats Texas by 20.
Yeah,
literally 2 weeks
ran
ago.
them off the floor,
and we didn't even talk about that like this was this awesome performance. We were just like, oh yeah, you beat him at Bud Walton Arena. Ho hum, you beat him by 20. A lot of these performances that you look back on that may not have been crazy in the moment have aged really well for Arkansas, and I think it just prepared them really well for this moment.
Big Shafta says, Hogs win. Party at Oakland this weekend. Woo damn big. Meet you in San Jose. Jameson's on me.
Jameson's. Okay.
Wow.
Jameson's.
Okay. All right. That's probably up your alley.
I've dabbled with a little bit of Jameson.
Little
it's been
bit
a while,
dabbling.
though.
Let's see. How did Cats get back in here? Says, what's the point of beating High Point if you get disemboweled by Arizona next week? By the way, I have no idea how I'm a member. Cats, when are you going to learn? When are you going to learn?
What's the point of winning a basketball game if you might one day not win a basketball game? What's the point of going to a Sweet 16 if you don't win a national championship? Sounds like a guy who's just never been a part of success, never been a part of winning, just doesn't understand what sports and life and this world we live in is all about. Go back and clock in at Dollar General, bro. We really don't need this bullshit.
What's the point of your existence in our chat?
Yeah. What's the point of being in this chat just to get your ass whipped tomorrow?
Exactly. Walla Walla Hog, appreciate you, says, this game is why I couldn't come to Portland. EMTs would have carried me out on a stretcher. Woo pig.
Yeah. Well, hey, whatever it takes to win, man, whatever it takes to win and keep you alive, we're all for it. We'd have loved to see you, of course, but man, woo pig, no matter what. We appreciate the sport always.
Razorback Lover says, how about Ewan?
How about Ewan, man? Yeah,
big in there.
Ewan's a big flexer. I think he might flex more than anyone on the team in terms of as a celebration.
Well, because it's one of two things when he scores. He's either flexing or he
does this flex a lot,
Oh, man. Hunt, OZK says, y'all accept your flowers also for being there and for us and pushing them back to the Sweet 16 again earlier in the week. Calhoun and Carter maybe next round. Guys, don't get your hopes up for that. Carter Knox was out there trying to shoot one-legged jump. He can't even shoot off of 2 feet yet. So
it seems like a steep climb back.
Yeah,
in one week.
I would be. Super surprised if that was the thing. Now Pringle, though, I think could be a different story. I think he's getting close.
Yeah, I saw.
And thank God they didn't have to use him.
I saw Nick Pringle dunk a basketball fairly thunderously, I might add.
Yes, he did. He might be back to the Magnificent Seven at some point here. From Landon, Gaddy says, come bring that winning energy here to California, fellas. Great day to be a hog. Woo pig suey. Oh, we're bringing it to California, man.
We're going back to Cali. And I don't know where you're at, Landon, but if you're anywhere near San Jose, I love it how California is just like, oh, yeah, just we're like, get Muss up here. It's like 8 hours away. No big deal.
It's
so I don't know where you're at in California. I know it's a pretty large state, I'm told, but if you're anywhere near, come by and hang out, man.
Yeah. Phil, shout out to Phil for gifting 5 Inside Arkansas memberships. And, oh, baby, we're all set. Ooh, lights.
Is that a like, hey, y'all need to get the hell out of here, man?
I don't know. There's no way.
I was thinking, I was like, hey, I don't think they're closing at 10.
I still see a bunch of people, so we're rolling on through. We're getting close.
Yeah.
Derek Tip says Acuff with the single season points record tonight. Yeah, man, that's
about that, man.
That's big time stuff right there. What's he averaging on the year now? Like 23 plus, maybe?
Yeah, somewhere around. I think he was averaging right at 23. We were sitting behind one of the little monitors there. I think he was averaging 23.0 going into this. I could be wrong on that.
Right. Kaylin says, do you think North Carolina will go after Mark Few? Heard they will also try to get Cal. There ain't no way they're going after Cal.
They're not going after Cal.
Don't worry about that. North Carolina's not coming for John Calipari.
I think North Carolina would go the younger route.
I would imagine so, too.
Get the best possible young coach you could get.
Yeah, they probably are going to get away from the brotherhood thing. I know it's a Duke term, but somebody from within the program or whatever. Jeff and Emily Harmon says, insane game at an insane pace, and I was watching from the couch. What was the speed like courtside? It was – I am not even trying to gas those dudes up because it was a close game. They were fast. They were tenacious, and they were really, really good. They looked the part in person. They were miles ahead of what that Winthrop team was when they came out to Arkansas. Now, everybody gets better throughout the course of the year, but those dudes are for real. They're legit.
When you guys go back and watch either the game in its entirety or just the highlights or whatever, really pay attention to how nobody was ever standing flat-footed at any point in the game. Like, people were just moving constantly. I'm glad you kind of defended it a little bit in terms of the effort. That was a grueling and intense game, back and forth, fast-paced, like just exhausting. It was exhausting watching it. I'm sure you guys are exhausted as well. And I definitely didn't think there was like some type of, effort fluctuation there at any point.
I do feel like, and I said this as we were walking over here, that I feel like if Arkansas was at full strength, like if they had Pringle and Carter and you had your normal 8 guys in there, I think Arkansas probably wins this game by 10, 12 points.
It would have made a huge
and a lot more comfortably than they did, but man, oh man. Omri says, I feel like Acuff has still not hit his March max performance. Keeping it for Zona. Thanks, Ewan, for showing up. Leak for 3. Enjoy the hours home, boys. Well, we're not going home.
We're not doing that.
We'll go home when this ride is over, I guess. And makes me sad because I really do miss my kiddo like a lot. But it's just for a good cause. It's a noble cause here.
Shout out to our fams back home, holding it down, man. And just being supportive, being cool, and being understanding and all that. But
yes. Slimmy says you could tell this was Fletcher's get back game. He say something to Cal? Was he talking to Cal?
I have to go back and see. He looked in the direct. He hit a 3. Kind of glanced in that direction, and then Cal kind of did a little bit of like an eye roll, kind of annoyed look. Maybe that was just, I can't believe he hit that shot. I don't know, but I feel like he maybe said something.
Maybe so. From Phil, he says, haven't seen JP. I'll just say turkey strutting. I like that.
Oh, yeah, of
course.
I
like that a lot. We've got Jay Jones says, extremely impressed with the pace High Point played with. We get a bucket, and Martin had them back down on offense within 3 to 4 seconds. I think that was the most exhausting tournament game we've had. Yeah, that was the thing, man. They get out in transition in a hurry. And it's like after giving up a made basket, too, and they're flying down the floor. And the longer the game went and the more tired Arkansas got, it felt like the faster they got at times in there. They were rotating bodies in and out of there, and Rob Martin's got like the Energizer Bunny battery.
Their bench was, they finished in bench points. Now, obviously, Fletcher scored 25 off the bench. But yeah, 38 bench points to 2 for Arkansas there, which DJ Wagner's one little bucket there. But yeah, their bench was huge in this game.
Right. From TKE says, crazy thing is Acuff doesn't even look exhausted after the games. He showed signs of fatigue in this one, but then he shook it off. There was one point there in the last few minutes where, did you see him? He was just top of the key. He's like, I'm going to wait till there's 12 seconds left. Get everybody out of my way. And he just goes, and then went to work.
There was one time that it only really happened a couple times where he kind of passed out and just kind of gave a motion of like, somebody else take this possession. It's like with 7 minutes left or whatever. But yeah, he does such a good job managing the ups and downs of a game, but also kind of managing his own fatigue. And he had enough in the tank for damn sure.
We've got Del. I have no idea. Appreciate you so much, though. Says, make sure that you guys bring light jackets to San Jose. It gets cool out here at night.
Ah.
Well, I got plenty of that.
Yeah, we got plenty of
But
winter wear, and
if it's warm during the day, I don't know what I'm going to do.
And so if this is a San Jose Hog, I mean, these are people that we never thought we would get to meet, but we look forward to seeing you if you're out there.
Solo says it's going to be a long morning, boys, but it's worth it. Thanks for the coverage as always. Woo Pig Suey for life. Well, we appreciate you. We've got Andrew Smith says 2 things. Props to my dad who took an afternoon nap and fired up the coffee to support. Also, tired of people saying our D is weak. Even Cal said it. We played no foul D, especially in the first half because of our numbers. Yes. Yeah, and we talked about that. You gotta keep that context in mind when you evaluate a game like this. Let's see what it looks like next week if they get another body back. Slimly says, I lived in Oregon for 5 years. Got to get outside of Portland or Eugene to really appreciate Oregon. The drive down is gorgeous, though, so take it in. We're very much looking forward to that. Andrew Smith again says they were going to name a street after Chuck Norris and then realized nobody crosses Chuck Norris. Who picks Suey, Leak Thomas for MVP?
That one was for Chuck.
Gets an A effort. That's really good there. From Jaded Sports Fan, y'all shopping for new clothes, briefs, or laundry? I did laundry today.
Yeah, did some laundry.
I banked on Arkansas win this game, so I was like, I'm not taking a bag full of sweaty, gross, worn clothes and put it in the trunk of a car for 8 hours and then figuring it out there.
Yeah.
Not happening. So my clothes are clean, man.
I like that.
And we are probably going to do some shopping. It also says 2 dogs, 1 bone. The pig is going home with the bone.
Yeah.
Yes,
Billy was the one who coined that, and he came away with the bone a few times.
Yes. From Elite Hogs 21 says DJ took over last year at times. I think he could do it again if we need it. I mean, we've seen that. He helped lead this team to a road win at Missouri. He had some big time performances in the SEC tournament late in the season against Texas. He's absolutely a guy who's capable of stepping up and doing some big things here for the Razorbacks, and he's got a ton of experience here in the NCAA tournament. Bo says, how much money would it take to pair Acuff with Jordan Smith Jr. and Leak? More than Arkansas has. There are limits to this.
I think an NBA team is probably going to spend like $60 million to pair those guys together. That's what they're going to have to do.
Yes, I think so. Ice Cold Mint Julep says, not sure if the single season points record will ever be broken, but if it is, hard to be better than Acuff.
I'd like to see what young man is about to come in here and do that.
Yeah. Hey, will the challenge be accepted, Jordan Smith or somebody else? Good luck.
No big deal.
There's a goal for you. High bar. Sammy says, thankful for the coverage you guys provide. You make us at home feel like we're there. Darius Acuff, no words. Let's win it all. Woo Pig Suey. Amen to that. And we appreciate you. That's exactly why we do what we do here. For Mandrew, Chef Curry or Acuff in horse. Any info on Todd Day?
Info on Todd Day.
Probably still Chef Curry, but I'm not sure what the Todd Day stuff is about, though.
I hope everything's fine with Todd Day.
Yeah, me too. I have no idea what that's referring to. So hopefully we've been plugged in over here. I have no idea what's going on back home. So hopefully everything's good. Hog Milanese says Arkansas now has the most NCAA tournament wins of any SEC team since 2015. Hashtag Woo Pig Suey. Hashtag no one statue curse lifted.
I mean, they literally go on a deep run every single time they show up in this tournament. I mean, so it checks out.
Truly do. Slimly says the call of the Hogs can be heard all the way from San Jose.
Yeah, I like the sound of that.
I like the sound of that too. I like the sound of that too. From Hazelwood says, look at Kamani Jay's tweet. We'll bring you to tears. R.I.P. Bob.
I have it, quote, word for word. Okay. Kamani says, sweet. Wish Bob could see this. And Kamani loved Bob. We loved Bob. And I've thought about him a lot on this trip for sure. And we thought about him a lot last year. Definitely. And I'm sure Bob was calling the Hogs tonight for sure.
It's a great man. We miss him. Miss him a ton. From D. Cliff says, Cats, a true feline if I've ever seen one. Holding true to the name Cats. Alma Sonic anytime. It threw down the challenge to you, Cats.
I like that.
You're going to take it or what?
He'll take on Cats by 90 and Cats by 21.
Paddlefish says, hey, Curtis, I was worried that we wouldn't get a week's worth of Pod at the Palace Arizona analysis, but we killed Cinderella just like always. Time to slay the dragon. I cannot wait to watch this game tomorrow, and then we just get to break it all down. We're going to be deep in the weeds by the time we actually see these dudes in person.
Yeah, we broke the glass slipper, and now it's time to go get a gorilla. Let's go shoot down King Kong.
Yeah, Phil says, why did Acuff sit out 6 minutes or so in the first half? Well, because he was at the scorer's table. There was no dead balls, there were no fouls, no nothing, and so he was just chilling there waiting.
And honestly, and this happens.
He only sat out for like 45 seconds.
He did, and it's crazy how Acuff always just takes a few minutes to settle into the game. He had a couple little buckets driving in early, but You even asked, you were like, okay, DJ comes in. Who does he come in for? And I was like, I think Acuff.
Yeah.
One, you knew you're going to need to give him some rest at some point. But also, I just think flow of the game, that was also when Malik Thomas started to get it going. I think that was the right decision to get his rest then, and wound up being a huge moment in the game.
He was just chilling there. At some point, I would just gone back to the bench. I'm like, hey, if there's a dead ball, I'll get back up and go sit on this floor over here. Paddlefish says Acuff broke Todd Day's single-season scoring record. I get that, but it's like any info on Todd Day. Like, I didn't know what – you know what I mean?
Yeah. So, okay, now we got clarification here. He says Todd Day is who Acuff beat for most points in a single season. Just didn't know much about him. No negativity. Just didn't know much about him.
Oh, okay.
So he just genuinely was
you.
like, no, Todd Day was the man. Todd Day, I mean, obviously held the scoring record, but Todd Day was like maybe my dad's favorite Razorback. Obviously, he was a little bit before my actual time, but where's he at these days, though?
Coaching somewhere around
Coaching
town.
somewhere, but Todd Day was the man.
There we go. Well, Andrew, we did it just in the nick of time, man. We made it through.
Yeah, we made it through. I don't think they were going to kick us out. I think they were going to let it ride for a little bit.
Yeah, we don't want to keep them here all night. They've been great to us.
No, absolutely. And it was awesome. It was cool because, like, we came in here and it looked a little bit like this, where it was, like, kind of low, kind of chill. And then we get here, and as we're getting started, it just becomes flooded in here. And so I was like, oh, man, they might be open for a while. But, yeah, appreciate Spirit of 77. They've been awesome for us all weekend. Appreciate the Hogs for taking care of business. And appreciate all of you guys, man. Like, we say it all the time. We couldn't do this without you guys, the support that you guys have, and your love for the Razorbacks. The fact that you guys care as much as you do is why guys like us are able to make a living doing what we do. And it's been the most fun ride of our lives. It's stuff we've been looking forward to all year, man. And I'm glad that it's not over, not even close.
We got a late entry from Jay Jones. He said, I get so tired of the trash takes about mid-majors. The truth is playing a 31-win team in March, who just took down a top 20 Big Ten squad with a Sweet 16 on the line. It's a huge challenge. High Point can play. That echoes our sentiments from throughout the day here. This was an awesome win, a great win for the Razorbacks. Any win in March is a great one, and it takes Arkansas back to the Sweet 16 for the fifth time in 6 years, and we can't wait to provide you guys with all the coverage along the way. Appreciate everybody. You guys are the real MVPs. You're awesome. You can share that. It can be a co with Darius Acuff. This is the one time that we'll accept that a little bit, but we're going to get out of here for now. Be on the lookout for bright and early in the morning, the report card coming out with me and Andrew, and then we'll keep you guys posted as we make our way down to San Jose. So for Andrew Ellis, John Neighbors, who's just vibing over here, who did a lot of great work for us in the locker room after the game, taking in that celebration. I'm Curtis Wilkerson. This has been the Pod the Palace post-game show. You guys enjoy the rest of your night. Soak it all in. We'll see you tomorrow.